I had my own movie projector, and they had these films that were only 200 feet long, so they ran about 12 minutes. And they edited these monster movies and made fairly decent, Rodan and Godzilla. And anyway, I was addicted, and I used to watch these films over and over again down in my basement.
And they were like little shortened versions?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They were completely edited and shortened. They were silent, of course, because they were on the old-fashioned 8mm projectors.
Oh, so it doesn't make any sound.
And they had captions at the bottom with dialogue.
That's like the cutest thing in the world.
Did you order them from this magazine?
Yes.
Just
And
imagine
then they
this
also
theater.
sold them. They also sold them at all the department stores, which had camera shops. And then they would have these those wheelie things that spun around, and they would have all kinds of westerns and mysteries, but always a lot of monster movies. Mothra.
Oh,
What were your favorite monster movies back then? Like when you were
Oh
a
God.
kid?
Well,
And still now.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Right.
Kicked butt.
Right.
And I even remembered I was still living in Harrington Park, so I was probably in the 6th grade or the 5th grade before we moved down to the Jersey Shore. I even remember what I was having for lunch when I first saw the original Roger Corman Little Shop of Horrors.
What were you eating?
It was a Swanson chicken pot pie with tater tots.
That's tasty.
And every now and then when I watch the old original film, I have a pot pie, with tater tots on the side.
Right.
But that's what an impression that movie, Feed Me. And this is way before the musical.
Right, this is the old Roger.
This is Roger Corman's filmed in 2 days classic, which is still a very, very funny movie to watch.
It is funny.
In that original, and I mentioned this in The Savage Garden, Seymour Krelborn, when he's asked by his boss, Mr. Mushnick, where did Audrey Jr. come from? Seymour says, it's a cross between a Venus flytrap and a butterwort. I think it was the only time in history that the word butterwort was even used on film. And Jonathan Hayes, who played the part, he actually mispronounced it. He called it Butterworth.
Right.
Anyway, it was quite different from the later Broadway musical, which of course is another classic. When they first previewed the film in San Jose and Los Angeles, the audience was so horrified that Seymour and his girlfriend Audrey get killed and eaten by the monster plant that it just completely bummed everybody out.
Right.
So they canceled that whole original ending, which took months to film because it wasn't, computer generated special effects. But that was when they had all these giant Audreys rampaging New York City. And the special effects guy was so disappointed that they canceled it all out. They brought the cast back, they refilmed the ending where Audrey is electrocuted and Seymour and his girlfriend Audrey fall in love and live happily ever after.
Right.
Now, that was not the way the original was done.
Right.